I've never attempted to do a low-tech setup. Well, that changes today. I found this very dusty bowl in my basement, and since I have seen quite a few low-tech setups on Instagram in the past days, I decided to give it a try. First, I cleaned the bowl. I also wanted to have a piece of foam to stand on, like all my other tanks. Next, I had to address lighting. I went through the equipment I already had and decided to go with this cheap nano LED light from Amazon, which would be too small for probably any other project. Unfortunately, it didn't fit the glass at all, but I have this gooseneck handy holder. Like this, I can position the light as I want. And I was even able to hide the cable. The next step is adding the substrate. This is really important because since we don't have a filter, all the beneficial bacteria will live in here. I have decided to use a mix of soil and aqualite. Both have already been cycled in a different tank. I hope I can completely skip the cycling process and algae phases like that, because both types of substrate are porous and contain a lot of beneficial bacteria and other microorganisms already. But this is not really pretty and planting would be a nightmare, so I topped it up with a layer of sand. I filled it up with water from a 60p aquarium. I'll tell you why later. I have a big selection of plants that are submerged already, so they can start to grow right away. But not all of them are created equal. For example, very big plants don't really fit the bowl. Very fast growers will outgrow the bowl in like 2 days, but slow growers will not take up nutrients fast enough to keep algae in check. I chose a small selection of 4 plants that I think could be suitable for this project. I also chose plants that were very colored up on purpose to find out how the color will change when they are placed in a low-tech environment. Perfect. But we are not going to stop here. Let's see how this bowl develops over the course of the next few weeks. During the first week, nothing really happened, apart from spotting some snails that snuck in with the plants probably. On day 7, I did weekly 50% water change. Now I'll tell you why I use water from a 60p Dutch style tank. The plants in this bowl need nutrients, but not as much as in the other tanks, because in here I don't have strong lighting and CO2. And if I would fertilize like Masterline suggests, I would have to add precisely 0.28 milliliters of fertilizer per week, and that's just ridiculous. That's why I will fertilize over the water change, because the water of the 60p still contains some nutrients at the end of the week. I should be able to keep a low but stable nutrient level that way, of course with slower growth, but without algae, hopefully. After 2 weeks, I started to remove the ramshorn snails because they can get quite huge, and I started to get worried that they might not find enough food in here. I added a few bladder snails instead. They stay much smaller and do well in setups like this. On day 28, I did the first trimming of the tank. You can clearly see the growth of the plants, although it is very slow. I'm really happy with the development of the bowl. It's almost zero maintenance and I've not had any problems yet. If you want to keep up with the development of this bowl, follow me on Instagram. I'll see you in the next one.